I'm trying to laugh. I saw Seinfeld's commencement speech at Duke, that clip where he talked about just laugh, just have humor in your life. That's what I'm trying to do today. Just laughing.
Be nice.
Trying to laugh. Finding humor in anything.
Boy, this was brutal.
Bad. That was bad. I don't know where to start. Do you start with the fact that
let's start with this. Where did the game turn? Where do you say that's where it happened? That's where they lost.
A singular play?
Not even a play. Maybe like
third quarter.
Okay, so third quarter obviously was not great for the Mavericks. In fact, the ESPN just threw up the stat up there. The Mavericks with a double-digit lead at halftime this year were 17-0.
Oh,
and they lost last night.
Look, that third quarter, they let them off the hook.
They are who we thought they were.
Was it Luka? Was it Kyrie? Was it free throw shooting? You can't go basically 50% from the line in an NBA playoff game and expect to win.
No.
You can't have your second best player, basically Kyrie, take 11 shots?
And Kyrie has really been very passive.
9 points? And your best player, Luka, is missing free throws. I mean, he's just obviously not.
Didn't you feel like when he stepped up to the line, though, he was missing one of those?
Of course.
Like, to me, I'm watching him up there, and I'm just like, man, with everything short on his shot tonight and just the legs looking heavy, I'm like, he's totally front rimming one of these. And he did. He bounced the first one off, makes the second, and ultimately that kind of lost the game for them. This is from Opta Stats yesterday, Chop. The Thunder Mavericks game last night was the first playoff game in NBA history where each team attempted at least 20 free throw attempts and one team shot 95% or higher and the other shot 55% or lower. So in other words, minimum 20 free throw attempts for both teams. It is like the largest discrepancy between two teams in terms of their free throw percentage in the history of the NBA. I'll tell you where I thought this one changed. It was 5:59 left in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that late?
5:59 left in the fourth quarter. So obviously, it was kind of on the brink a little bit.
That felt like it was much more than a 7-point lead, like in the third quarter as you go to the fourth.
Yeah. So, they definitely started having some problems. But if you want to tell them, if you want to know, when did you feel like, they're in real trouble in this game? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 5:59 left in the fourth quarter. 6-foot driving floating jump shot. Makes it 84-80. Gafford dunks. Shai comes back down. Knocks down a 17-foot jump shot. Comes back down the floor again. 15-foot pull-up. Comes back down the floor. Gets a block on Derek Lively. Comes back down the floor. Makes a 10-foot jumper. Ties the game up. Scores 8 in a row in the span of 90 seconds. And it was when he hit that basket to make it 86-86. I tweeted at the time. I was like, that's the one where Shai was kind of jumping out of bounds and shooting it off the side. When that happened, I was like, you might be in trouble. But even though it's a tie game right now, they look alive right now, and you look completely dead. And then he comes back down the floor, and Shai dishes that ball out to Chet Holmgren for the three that put him up 89-86. And just, I was talking about this with Reggie yesterday.
Well,
you know how we've talked about how they can score so fast, Oklahoma City. And when it happens, it's like, whoa, your 10-point lead is gone in 90 seconds. It happens really quick with them. The thing that's so fascinating specifically about Oklahoma City and the way that they would go on those runs is that their defense feeds off of what they're doing on the offensive end of the floor in those moments. So it's really fast because it's not just Oklahoma City's making their shots. It's Oklahoma City's making their shots, and then on the other end, they're blocking Luka, and then they come down and they make another shot, and then they steal the ball and they make another shot. It's not just you're missing shots or they're defending well. It becomes you start feeling this groundswell on both ends of the court where you're just like, oh, okay, they're feeding off some energy that you don't have right now. And when they tapped into that last night with Shai during that run, I was like, Dallas is too exhausted to match one of these runs right now.
Look, it's a physical team. The series is physical, right? It's fun. It's a physical series, and they're letting them play at times.
Yeah.
I just look. This is you had a chance in this series again. You can't lose a game when the other team's shooting 38%. You can't lose that game. You did everything right on the defensive side of the ball for a large part of this game. And then Shai just took over.
Oh.
Like your best player. I mean, and that's 3 straight games from 35-5. 35-5. Not 35. 30, 5-5. It's 3 straight games for him. He's playing well. They're frustrating. They're frustrating because they do that same. I love it and I hate it. I have a love-hate with it, where they all get around the guy doing the post-game interview.
I hate it.
I have a love-hate with it. If it was my team, I would love it. I'd be like, hell yeah, unity, all the things. When it's not your team. Yeah, when it's not your team, I'm like, lame, collegiate, whatever. But, dude, you blew it. They blew it last night. I think they blew this thing. They may end up on the series.
They clearly blew the game.
They clearly blew the game.
And, look at that headline coming up. Luka and Kyrie flop as Thunder even series in Dallas. That's a tough headline. Yeah, I think it is. Franklin injury attorneys text line. This is specifically what I think we want feedback from you on right now. The Tolos. What are your thoughts on Luka Doncic right now in this playoff run? He's obviously hurt, but how much of this right now do you feel like is on Luka? How much of last night is on Luka? 940 says Kyrie looks gassed, hasn't played this many games in the season near a decade. That's an interesting point. We talked about that earlier this year, that Kyrie had played in 17 straight games or something. And that was the first time he had done that in 9 years. And like he went past even that. But his longest streak of games played consecutively in 9 years was like 16. And he played in a ton of games this year relative to what he had been doing recently. Are we seeing Kyrie's gassed? Luka's clearly hurt. He's banged up. Luka's definitely gassed. But, I mean, look, I know there's a lot of it here. 817, there's going to be a lot of people with that thought. Luka needs to man the F up. And I get it, but I mean, there's also some limitations there. To me, manning the F up for Luka might just be saying to them, I got to sit. Like, I got to sit for a game.
Man, I think it's too late. I don't think you can do that.
Can you afford to have him go out there and do that again? In a tough,
I don't think you have a choice.
It's getting worse. Each game he looks more beat up.
Yeah, but I think that last night was the night to do that. I don't think you can do it now. You sit him now. I mean, you're gonna say, okay, we're willing to go down 3-2 without our best player on the floor, whether he's your best player right now because he's healthy or not. This is you're not sitting guys in the playoffs to get them healthy.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell
moment was
play
past
last night.
Yeah, they lost.
No, but they were competitive. It was close late. And I'm saying, like, Dallas definitely has the capacity to beat Oklahoma City without Luka. I'm wondering,
risk that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying because
no, I mean, you're right. You're right.
It
last night would have been the night to do it when you have some margin for error. But man, this is a bad spot to be in right now because you feel like, yeah, you can't sit Luka. You need him. You need all hands on deck. And then at the same time, you're like, how can you put Luka back out there right now with the way that he's moving? He can't defend. He is having trouble getting, enough lift on a shot. Everything's front rimming for him. He's like moving slower than normal. It's just he cannot escape a double team right now to save his life. Like I mean, it's he can't split a double team. There's nothing he can do right now. It's just he is completely drained. And to me, I don't know. There should have been. This was something that we talked about at the end of the Clippers series a little bit. The idea of, hey, you might need to sit him at some point if it gets bad enough. And we're at a point now where you got to ask, is it bad enough? Right now during this series, let me look this up. During this series, Chop, Luka Doncic is shooting 39% from the field, 31% from three, 67% from the free throw line. He has 17 turnovers. That's awful.
That's pretty bad. It's a tough watch. It's a tough watch. He's not playing his normal game. Kyrie is not playing his normal. He's doing whatever. I don't know what the hell he's doing out there. They're neither one of them are playing their regular game.
So I think Kyrie's gassed, and I think Kyrie is doing kind of what we were talking about the other day. I think Kyrie is getting into the headspace the last few games of like, I'm running the offense. I'm running the point because Luka can't. And I think it's just, I think the mentality is different there for him.
I'll tell you this. If Kyrie's gassed, that I want you to take. I want everyone to take the same energy they had for Tank Lawrence at the end of the Cowboys season when he said we were just burnt out.
Yeah.
Take the same energy, but they won't because
out,
people
man?
in this town treat the Cowboys one way, ourselves included. We do this too. Treat the Cowboys one way, and the Mavericks and Rangers and Stars are completely different. And we give those other teams a little bit of a pass, and we are hard on the Cowboys.
Man, this is just
use the same energy.
This has been. I think you're at a point right now, and it sounds so funny because we were just talking yesterday about how we all thought like, yeah, Dallas has got this series now, and I still think Dallas wins this series ultimately. That's still my pick, but man, it's the way it went down, and the fact that it's 3 games where Oklahoma City has established like, nope, this is gonna be a slugfest. Like this is gonna be ugly and 15 rounds of blow after blow. That's what this series is gonna be. And that's really tough for Luka, the way that he's banged up right now. Luka having to play potentially 3 more of those games. I'll tell you what I don't feel confident in right now at all is that even if they get to the West Finals, I don't feel confident about going up against Minnesota or Denver right now.
I mean, now, like, what you need what they gave Denver, which is a week off.
Yeah, that's why you really needed to win last night.
Between game two, and game 3 in the Denver series, they played Monday. They didn't play again until Friday. They needed exactly that. And now I think the schedule does set up well for that, right?
They do get 2 days off, 2 full days off.
Because they don't play
Wednesday
until
and then
game
Saturday.
7's Monday, right? It's not.
Well, yeah, game 6 is Saturday, though. So they'll play Wednesday, and then they get Thursday, Friday off, and then they'll play Saturday for game 6.
Yeah. So the 15th.
So they get 1 extra day off.
Tomorrow, and then the 18th there, the extra day, and then the 20th. Yeah.
This is. I gotta see this right now. So,
by the way, that's probably a miss by the NBA. They should have. They either should have given them more time, or Game 7 should be on a Sunday. They should have done, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, but whatever.
Luka Doncic has, 38 career playoff games now.
Okay. Where are we going with this?
4 of his 6 worst career shooting performances have come in the last 8 games.
Yeah, he's absolutely hobbled and he's compromised.
So, like,
which
at what point?
Even more of a reason why. And listen, if Kyrie's gassed, it's even people are bringing this up on the Fantastic. If Kyrie's gassed, you can't sit Luka.
Man, you're gonna have to. Didn't we have the same talk already though about during the Utah series a couple years ago? You remember when that was the discussion where it's like, hey, I understand Luka's got a strained calf or whatever, but you got to have him out there against Utah. You can't beat Utah without him. And they went ahead and said, like, no, this is important that he's got to heal up here. To me, it feels like Luka's costing you more than he's helping you right now.
He is. He's not helping. Kyrie's not helping either. I mean, he helped in certain parts of this game series, but not last night. Last night he was a non-factor, just a non-factor. But maybe he's tired. I don't know. And I know people are saying Tank said it out loud versus Kyrie not saying anything. I don't want to hear it. Like, there's no
Tank. Look, let's be honest.
There's no time for fans have no time for players being tired. It's the playoffs, man. Everyone's tired.
Let's be 100% honest here and real quick about the Tank Lawrence thing, about him saying that out loud. Tank was grasping for something to say in an interview, a reason, because he didn't want to address the reasons that they really had problems in that game, which they weren't prepared. They were, I think, had some chemistry issues and other things that existed. Tank was looking for something and just blurted out, tired, worn down, and that has been,
I know,
pinned to him. But the reality is they were not tired in that game against Green Bay.
They got beat.
They got their ass beat, and they had a lot of problems off the field.